Hello, church family. Happy New Year. As we begin our service this morning, and as we begin this new year, what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the book of Judges. So over the next 9 weeks, we're going to be looking at the character of Israel and what is God doing within Israel? How is he rescuing them? And so for this morning, what I'd like you to do is pause this video and then go watch the Bible Project's video on the book of Judges. And I have two things. So while you're watching the video, I'd like you to look at what are the main themes, all right? What are the main themes in the book of Judges and discuss them, all right? Then come back to the video. All right, enjoy. Welcome back. All right. So the two main themes, as we look at the book of Judges, what I discovered, and I asked Shannon, and she saw the same things, is one, that God can use flawed humans to accomplish his will. That's really good. It's really good for us. And two, Israel's descent into the self-destruction is a result of turning away from God. So two of the main themes are main themes of our life. So as we look at the book of Judges, I want us to examine, how do I find myself in the story? How do I find myself either as a character or as the nation as a whole? And so now what I'd like you to do is discuss these two questions at home. And they are this. We see, well, I should pause here because we see the Israelite, they're becoming like their neighboring Canaanites, right? So why don't you discuss in what ways are they being like the Canaanites? And then two, is there any story that you heard about in that video that you don't really know? I would encourage you to dig into that. Maybe even this morning, take one of those, maybe mark down which ones you didn't know and go through. I mean, we're going to be touching on most of the book, but we won't go in depth going verse by verse. We're just doing overall big picture things. So I'd really love for you to take time and discuss and look at the characters that you may not have heard of or don't know in Judges. So discuss what way are the Israelites becoming Canaanites, and then discover some other things. So pause the video, and then I have a closing statement. So one thing I did notice, and it's beautiful, is the last line in the video. And I want to read that to you. It says, it's a sobering explanation of human condition, and ultimately points out our need for God's grace to send a king to rescue his people. So is there any areas in your life where you need God's grace or his rescuing? As we close, I want you to just ponder that this week. What areas in my life do I need God's grace, or do I need his rescuing? Because the king has come, and his name's Jesus. And I want us to really examine in our hearts, because if God can forgive the egregious sin of the Israelites and rescue them, he can rescue you. Be blessed. Have a great week.